Sometimes a car is just meant to take you from point A to point B. Now is the Grand i10 Nios meant to do just that? We're about to find out. I'm Raspreet Gill. Welcome to the channel. And we're driving a manual Grand i10 Nios Magna variant. So far, the main thing that really stands out for me in the driving experience is this gearbox. Because it's buttery smooth, it's literally like a knife cutting through a hot slice of butter, and it does it so smoothly. And it's enjoyable, really enjoyable. I mean, I've been driving so many automatic cars lately, I miss the sensation of a manual big time, and it is a perfectionist's dream. And Hyundai right here, I know this isn't a performance car or whatever, but the shifts are so satisfying every time you move it. To top it off, along with a very short length clutch pedal right down there, you depress it and you can move into the next gear just like that. Now this gearbox has been mated to a 1.2 litre Kappa VVT, which is the variable valve timed engine. It produces 83 PS and 114 Newton meters of torque. Now the variable valve timing in this engine enables you to get a wider spread of power and torque across the complete RPM range. And what that does is it gives you good control over the car, as well as every single time you floor it, you get that power on demand due to that VVT tech. And it's very much noticeable in the Grand i10 right here. Now speaking of the mileage figures, the ARAI has a claimed average of 21 km per litre on this car. I've clocked about 19 or something, so I think it's definitely in that bandwidth. And it is attainable. How well can this car handle bumps and potholes? As you can see, me wobbling around the cabin, and that's pretty much about it. It is actually doing a pretty good job because you don't feel that much of harshness coming into the cabin, but you do feel the thuds that creep in. Besides that, I feel that the suspension has the strength to go through some bad patches of the road without much difficulty. Now my driving position, I'm seated just the way I want to be, and it's comfortable. I've got good under thigh support, the headroom's good as well, and because this variant does give you those height adjustable seats. On the base variant of the i10, it doesn't give you a height adjustable driver's seat. And besides that, when you take a look, I've got wide wing mirrors, actually large wing mirrors on the side. I've got a decently framed rear view mirror in the center right here as well. In fact, this is one of the biggest rear view mirrors. Given the size of this car, that's a big one. My mirror right at the back end for my rear visibility as well is large. There's nothing really that I can't see. Everything is pretty much visible. The A-pillows, they seem a little bit thick, but still they don't really create any kind of blind spots whatsoever. You can see through them. And even if you turn around that way, overtaking and stuff is pretty much easily done due to the amount of wide pane windows that these are. They give you great visibility, filling this cabin in with so much air and light. It actually makes it feel more spacious than it actually is. So my speedometer right here, that is a driver's instrument cluster. It's all analog, no digital stuff going on, except for the mini little information display right there, and that too is controlled with the button by stretching your finger right down into the hatch there. So I have all my media control buttons on this side of the steering wheel. The other side is fully blank, and pretty much it lets you control your telephony as well as the audio control commands. On this side, you can switch it from Bluetooth as well as the radio right from these buttons on the steering wheel. Now, speaking of the interiors inside the Grand i10 Nios here, everything seems to be built with a lot of practicality as well as to aesthetically please you. In particular, I really do love these aircon vents in this car. They remind you of a particular luxurious car brand. That's the Mercedes. And the way they finish them off in the i10 right here, it's lovely. Across the dash as well, you do have this dual tone finish that's going in. It's a bit of grey and a little bit of a lighter grey tone that's running. It livens up the cabin. The seats that I'm seated in as well, they're fabric in the Magna variant that is right here. And they too have that greyish tinge that's wrapped around them. The seats are rather very comfortable. And as for these materials along the dash and stuff, A little bit scratchy and hard touch, of course. But overall, the flowy language of the dash and the instrument cluster merging with the center console information display out here. Now, we don't get that Apple CarPlay as well as a touchscreen infotainment system, but what we do have is a tuned-in FM audio as well as AM radio system right here. It packs in your Bluetooth, telephony, and it has rather practical buttons that run along it. They just simply do the job with a single click, so you just simply press a button and it takes you right there without wasting any time. So the air conditioning system, it's got this one thing about it. It's literally that old school design. There's no temperature control or any kind of zoning out here. It's just that basic aircon system which has a fan speed as well as a normal hot and cool selector. As for the other portion of the dash, there's a bit of this honeycombish design that runs across the passenger side as well. Makes it look very rich, lively, and although it carries a lot of the old school elements, it still looks very, very modern. And I think that's one thing that Hyundai have done so well in this particular variant. And I feel that the Magna variant is one that's pretty much the most sought after because of the pricing that it comes in at, about 6 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Here's a quick look at the on-road price list across all variants. I'm in the back seat of the Grand i10 Nios, and I gotta say it's rather very comfortable. And 2 at the back is the way to go with it. Now to add to the back seat comfort, we even get a couple of AC vents at the back here. There's no fan control whatsoever. It's all going to be controlled from the front. Decent amount of leg room. The front seat's in my position. I'm 5'10" and a half, and it is all good. My headroom as well, it's plenty. Someone over 6 foot as well would be pretty comfortable. Visibility from here as well is fantastic. You don't feel claustrophobic or whatever. It's all very much airy, especially with the color tone of this interior. It's really helping the liveliness. So long distances as well, and if you decide to get chauffeured around in this car, I'm sure you wouldn't mind that at all. Now coming to the boot space, we have 260 liters of space right here. That's pretty decent, not bad at all. The rear seats are also foldable with a couple of full tabs on either corner. And down here, we also get a full-size spare wheel. That's a 14-incher right there, which goes according to the specs of this variant. So that was the Grand i10 Nios, the Magna variant that we had with us today. It's a small package, but one that is a great blend of practicality as well as drivability. Now, a few years ago, you'd consider 6 lakh rupees ex-showroom to definitely bag in the top variant of this car right here. But the way times have changed and things have gotten expensive, the segment has actually moved so much more upper in the price band that 6 lakh ex-showroom would only land up with the Magna variant. But trust me, this is the variant that you'd really want to go in for. If you're a petrol head and you enjoy a manual drivetrain, this one ticks pretty much everything that you desire. Now, if you like this video, be sure to show some love with a thumbs up. I'm Raspreet Gill, and I will see you all for the next one.